Sandra Russell comes from a renowned Tipperary farming family, and she grew up in a life steeped in horses and hunting on their farm.
Sandra Russell is one of the best neighbours you could ever write away for. She's an absolute legend.
Like so many of her peers at the time, Sandra started her path within the thoroughbred sector at the excellent Irish National Stud educational course before fine-tuning her trade in America, principally at Robbie Lyon's Hartwell farm in Kentucky.
My parents were very involved with the Scarteen hunt. They were treasurers, so hunting was a big part of our background. They had a couple of national hunt mares themselves, but they had no luck. They really didn't have any luck. After school then went to Kildangan, the National Stud. Didn't study too hard at the National Stud, but learnt a lot, made some great friends, and then went to Switzerland for a year of all places, to a show jumping yard. I tell all my buddies here that I went to finishing school, and they quickly tell me I didn't get finished. And then I came back to Newmarket and worked in Rossdale's for a little while, and then worked for David Shekels in Old Mill Stud. And I guess that's when I kind of started thinking that this maybe is the area for me. Off I trotted to Kentucky, over to Robbie Lyon's Hartwell farm. And at that particular time, Robbie, Jerry Dilger and Mike Ryan were starting a syndicate. They were one of the first people to start weanling to yearling syndicates. That was some experience. We learnt a lot. We played hard, we worked hard, but we learnt a huge amount. And I gave nearly 9 years with Robbie.
Her brother was over here for a couple of years, Tom. So Tom arranged for Sandra to come over here. That was probably the late 80s. She was into the bridle straight away, so she was not a bother on her. There was a lot of Irish people here, and she had her centre of communication. She set it up in Goshen Square, which was just happened to be right almost next door from TAT's US office at the time. So she was well placed. She was placing herself well.
When she was in Kentucky in America, she would have been very, very well known in McCarthy's and a lot of other places. But her old friends, a lot of them she worked with over there. And Jerry Dilger, she did a lot of work with them. And, those people were just incredible people to teach young people how the industry. And that's where we all learnt it. She learned from the best over there, and she brought that expertise back to Ireland, and she is now teaching younger people how to do it properly. There's only one way to do things, and that's properly.
Arriving home in the early noughties, Sandra set up business in Lismaku near Bancha, and the rest is history.
I had spent a little bit of time in Ireland for family reasons. My mother hadn't been well. I was at a crossroads in my job with Robbie. I had got as far as I was going to go. So I said, you know what, sure, Ireland isn't a bad old spot, sure, I'll give it a go and see what happens. I was trying to find somewhere to rent. I couldn't afford somewhere to buy. And just happened to be passing this place one day and said, wonder what goes on inside those doors. I started just foaling first and then taking in some boarders, and I suppose I got a reputation for doing a good job, and the rest kind of followed. I got good clients and better clients and better clients.
She's foaled a few very, very good ones for us, thank God. She foaled Powerful Glory, Champion Sprinter Elect, and Forever in Dreams. I think she foaled about 4 or 5 Group 1 horses for us.
It's been great. We've had some really nice mares come through foaling. A standout, or one that would pop straight to the top of the list, would have to be Mother Earth. She won the Guineas, multiple Group 1s after that. And, it's pretty cool when you think back and kind of go, well, that was pretty special to bring her into the world and see her for the first time. That gave me a little bit of capital to start buying a few mares. A mare called Shahila, who I bought from Jacqueline Norris, Jockey Hall. She was the girl that got me going up the ladder. She produced some fabulous foals. I got well paid for them as foals, and they went on to be good racehorses. She gave me my first listed winner, which was fantastic. It was like a great day, you know. Our game is worldwide, and it's a huge industry. When little things like that happen, it's very small. Like, everyone is ringing you, everyone is texting you, because they're thrilled for you, because they know how hard it is for that to happen. She got me going, and then I bought a mare called Moment of Truth, who produced a Group 1 winner in Saratoga there at the end of the summer. That was my first and maybe my only Group 1 winner that I'll ever have, because they don't come around that often, you know. So to have one with me, like, you know, I have 5 mares, which is a very small fish in a very, very big pool of water, you know.
She started off very small. She started just foaling our mares, and then she got bigger, and in her own little way, she's cowarded the county bred, and she has this very good Group 1, Grade 1 winner in America last year. She just looks after them so well, they're fed so well, and she has a great staff down there as well. There's some lovely people working down there, and she brought them along from not knowing an awful lot about horses, and she's educated them, which is, I find, is fantastic, and they stick by her. She has the same people with her since she started.
My proudest moment as a breeder has to be breeding Excellent Truth, who won the Diana Group 1 in Saratoga. You know, it really was. Now, she'd been knocking on the door. She'd been placed second a couple of times. So that was my proudest moment. Now, that night went on because it was late here. It was 5 or 6 in Saratoga.
Wide bit on the outside of Choice Hughes, hanging tough in between those two. Excellent Truth. She feels pretty. Surges past with a furlong left to go. Excellent Truth will make her work for it. These two are head and head. She feels pretty or Excellent Truth. Excellent Truth. She feels pretty. Nose and nose for the wire. Here is the line. Excellent Truth.
I have an awful lot of friends there from the time I spent there, so there was a lot of FaceTiming going on, text messages. It went on quite late. I had to play in the Lady Captains the next morning. I had an early tea time. The first 3 or 4 holes are a complete blur. I do not remember how I got through that. But anyway, it was great. I didn't win the competition.
Anytime you can buy a mare like that and just, you know, but she bought it, you know, she did the mating, she raised the foals, all those circumstances all matter. So, you know, in somebody else's hands, it might not have worked. She might not have bred her to that stallion, and so you got to give her the credit. And she's bred some nice horses, other than a superstar like that. So I'd love to say I taught her all she knows, but that's certainly not the case.
We're so proud of her. You know, she's our next door neighbour here, and we're just so proud of her, and just well done. Well done, Sandra.
One of the most popular and shrewdest people on the sales circuit, Sandra is a perfect example of the many high-class small breeders in Ireland that play such an important role in the bloodstock scene here. Her success is well earned and well deserved.